Hello, we're back.
We're back.
We had a slight issue with the streaming PC.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're still here, and we didn't realise for
A couple of seconds.
Well,
it wasn't too bad. I
wasn't
don't think I went on a 5-minute rant without noticing. But yeah, no.
No, we're back.
Yeah, unfortunate events happen. It's also started to snow
Yes.
here in Stockholm, which is very funny considering we're releasing a DLC about India, which is like one of the hottest places I can imagine. So yeah, it's funny things happen today. I was just talking about the India map rework, which we are also releasing as part of the 1.8 update. So this is coming for free, of course, to every player, and this will, you can maybe, I don't know how familiar you are with the Indian region before this update. You can see it's a lot more detailed. There's a lot more subjects here. The state borders have changed drastically. We've overhauled the culture setup and so on. Right? Like a bunch of things were fixed here.
There's also the Sikh Empire, which is now the Kalasaraj.
Yeah.
With their own subject themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
For instance.
Whoops.
Oh.
Now we can open no, that was the wrong one. My bad here. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of work has gone into this. Our narrative designer Hansi has done a really good job here. To really bring this to life, this region.
We also have, I think, I can recall one other area we changed map, which was the Netherlands, I believe.
Yes, we did. We see tiny Luxembourg in here, which is fun to see. But you can, of course, bring glory again to Luxembourg via the Treaty of London, actually. So there's a journal entry around the whole border situation of Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. And depending on which way you're going, you can either make Luxembourg bigger or maybe the Netherlands. I'm actually not sure what all the possible
provinces,
outcomes.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly. What all the outcomes are, you will need to find out for yourself.
I'm trying to recall any other map changes. I think Egypt may now be Ottoman.
Egypt is now a subject.
Subject. I can't remember which
one
exactly.
Yeah, it's a protectorate, if I'm not mistaken.
Diplomacy.
Of the Ottoman Empire, of course.
Protectorate, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It is a protectorate now.
So very much not wanting to be.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So this could also be a fun playthrough, of course, to see how that affects Egypt's strive for autonomy. So all in all, there's a whole lot of changes with 1.8, obviously. But most of it, of course, obviously, is centered around India now. So there's a lot of journal entries. There's also, I want to mention this, there's a way for you not to try and just break free, but you actually become a good subject of Great Britain. Kind of like you making use of the utilitarian movement, and Great Britain can send basically I don't want to say quests, but like
demands,
dictates. I think it's called.
I think it's called that. Yeah,
exactly. For you to improve your education access, for example, and then you can progress that way and have a very different playthrough experience. Yeah. So I think overall it really opens up a lot of avenues that you can take.
There's a lot of different ways you can take it, because even depending on which princely state you pick, because they might have some similarities, but again, you're smaller, you might gang up with different ones. You might be a Pilibhad who even has its own, essentially, quest, as it were, to try and reclaim the old heritage. You've got the Kalasaraj, who's trying to not be swallowed up desperately.
Which is tough.
And also trying not to have every single leader murdered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a nice little intrigue mechanic there.
Yes.
Court intrigue, where your heirs or your rulers will get brutally murdered on occasion.
Yeah, I think it's depending on how legitimate your government is, what sort of people in your government, what sort of traits you have. So it's you have really ambitious people around you. Yeah. They might be trying to kill you.
Yeah, exactly. It feels very Crusader Kings.
Yeah.
that part, for sure. Yeah. No, so yeah, there's a lot of different content for you to explore with Pivot of Empire for sure. Should we maybe take some more questions? Because I think we've covered all the big points that we wanted to bring up.
One thing I just remembered.
Yeah, sure.
Multiplayer.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
one thing for that. That's quite important.
That is true. Yeah. So what we've done is a resync button, which is quite cool. I haven't actually tried it out myself yet because I actually didn't need it, which was fortunate. But yeah, so there's a resync button which should allow you to basically get back into the game with the people that you're playing if you encounter a desync, which should make the whole experience a lot better. Yeah, I think that's
one nice little change.
Yeah, for sure. There's hundreds of other nice changes. There's a lot, but
it's very much worth looking through the changelog, which you've already released roughly an hour ago now at this point.
Yeah.
And including in that, we might want to mention also some of the VTM style stuff done by Doodles.
Sure, yeah. We, you may know the Victoria, the various tweaks mod.
No, Victoria tweaks mod.
Various tweaks mod.
That's Victoria.
No. Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry, I just know it as VTM actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that mod that was run by One Proud Bavarian and a modder called Doodles. And we recently hired Doodles actually as a systems designer. So he has been with us on the team now for about maybe 1.5 months, maybe 2, something like that. And he has integrated a lot of the changes from the mod into the base game. We've labeled them in the changelog also so that you can easily find the ones that made it in. Because we started with kind of like the easily accessible changes, right? Like a lot of small little AI tweaks, added culture traits, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
I think
things that were kind of easy to add.
One I can remember is obsessions.
Yeah, exactly. Obsessions was just bumped basically to appear more often because they were quite lacking before. They barely appeared, and now they are actually quite often can be seen, which is very nice.
Yeah.
It's a very simple but very good improvement.
Yes.
And we probably will continue doing more of this kind of stuff where we take some more of their changes and integrate them into the base game. And, I want to take the opportunity again to shout out to every modder that is out there that is working on Victoria 3 and their mods, because we really appreciate all the work that you guys do. It's really fun to see all the ways that you can take Victoria into.
It's really interesting. I keep a special eye out to see what
Yeah.
weird and wonderful mods are coming about,
Yeah.
ranging from total reworks, adding specific cultural stuff and outfits,
Yeah.
all the way up to, hey, here's total conversion where you're now in a completely different world.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see.
Yeah,
So-
my goodness, that like fantasy, like spell casting mod.
Yes, the one that uses
fantastic.
companies
Yes.
as like, hey, your companies are now actually spell card slots.
Yes.
And I thought that is incredibly good twisting of how it's
Yeah,
used.
no, that's really cool to see. Yeah.
It's also got some nice portraits, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. What was it? Rabbit? No, mice. Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
it's a very wonderful modding scene coming about.
Yes,
And I encourage you
that's really
to
nice.
seek any of them out. They're all very nice people.
Huh, Seek, like
Ah.
Seek Empire? Well, yeah, you had to make one of those. Yeah.
Sickening.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of changes for you to browse through for sure. I think we're about to wrap up, no? If I'm not mistaken. So maybe we can answer a few last questions before we call it a day here and let everybody play the game. And then, of course, we're going to be on Discord and the forums to look at feedback that you might still have, because I'm sure there's going to be some
There's going to be
tweaks
something
needed.
we want to balance, something we need to look at.
Yeah.
As always, if there's any bugs, please send them to our bug report forums. And if you find anything really cool, send it to me, because I like seeing that.
Yeah, exactly. So there is, for example, a question: will there be a chapter DLC as in Crusader Kings for this and future DLCs? I assume and they mean a season pass.
Yes, I believe that's what
Exactly. And what we have said and what we want to do is that we want to bring back season passes, but we don't want to start a season pass with comparatively small DLC like this one, but we actually want to basically kick off a new season of a season pass with a bigger expansion, kind of like DLC. So you can expect to see more of them in the future, but this DLC is without one. Yeah. Any more questions that we feel like we should maybe answer? Oh, you're welcome.
No, thank you.
No problem.
Something about using tooltips, break up the tooltips using text icons for the discrimination tiers.
Break the tooltip up using text icon. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Like, we actually do something like that in. I forgot a whole thing actually. The cast system. I'm not going to go into too much detail now, but actually we use these icons here to indicate basically a minimum or a maximum acceptance. Which we could maybe actually make use of in order to highlight like what they are referring to, if I'm not mistaken, is basically show these effects with an according icon, right? So if you have a violent hostility status,
just use the icon.
Use the level 3 acceptance status icon.
So it'd be
to indicate
minus 30% political strength for the 1. Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that could be a nice idea. That is actually a cool suggestion. Even if it's not what you meant, I'm going to write this down because that might make things easier. I'm going to listen to what Aaron says, at least around this.
Yeah. Oh, we do have a question though.
Yeah, sure.
Do the discrimination changes allow Chinese to migrate to California now without the multiculturalism law? I believe that's possibly the case.
Yeah, it might be. So there's a couple of things that play into this. So first of all, there's a change to how migration controls work. So we see this plus 60 migration restrictiveness value, which basically indicates the minimum acceptance of a culture that would like to migrate into this country. So if you want to migrate into the East India Company, you need to have at least 60 acceptance as a POP, right? And previously also this was locked by both sides. So if you didn't actually, if you weren't accepted in your origin country, then you might not leave depending on the migration controls, if you had closed borders, for example. And this has now also been changed so that it only looks at the target country. So I'm not 100% sure about this specific POP and country combination, because I mean, how could I possibly know all of them? But you can take a look and see if that changed. It might very well be possible that it's possible now without the multiculturalism. Because I believe the US start with no migration controls.
I believe there's no migration controls.
Yeah, exactly. So there's actually, as you can see here, there is no value for restrictiveness. We only have that on migration controls and closed borders.
Yeah.
So it might very well be possible that they can migrate. Oh yeah, for details you would need to check in game yourself, I think. Cool. All right.
I think that's all though.
All right. And let's call it here.
Yeah. So again, thank you everyone for turning up and watching this. Thank you for playing Victoria 3. And again, if you see anything, report it in a bug report or contact us about feedback and have a look through the changelog. There's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
300, actually over 300, it was close to 500, I believe, in the
something
end.
like 450 changes or so, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's extensive, for sure.
Yes.
One of our bigger updates.
Yeah.
All right, well then have fun today playing and of course over the weekend and have a nice day.
Bye.